Hello, this is Dr. Dan. Jesus was arguably the greatest strategic team builder that ever existed. If you look at the reality of what Jesus did, whether you are a believer or not, the reality is that Jesus built a team starting with one individual, one or two, leading up to the 12, which in turn he gathered eventually 72, and then hundreds and thousands, and those individuals went out. And what ended up happening is you have the greatest, if you want to call it, if you look at it from an organizational standpoint, the greatest organization, the greatest religion that the world has ever known. Well, how did he do that? How did Jesus behave? How did he act? What characteristics did he exhibit as a strategic team builder? There are many different examples that I've provided you here where he built this initial team and then ultimately went out and expanded that, and you know the end result here. But how exactly did he do that? There was techniques that he used. And while those techniques and strategies are not necessarily explained within the Gospels, if you look carefully, you can see what he did. So as an example, when he first built his team, when he first went out, and I imagine that he was thinking, okay, how do I go about getting some people that are going to follow me, and then what in turn do I do? Because he's in his human form, right? He knows the answers in his godly form, but in his human form, he also asks himself. So what he ended up doing is first he found a couple brothers. And if you think about that, it's actually a very strategic approach to building his team, because there were two people that already knew each other. There were two people that already worked with each other as fishermen. So he did that, and he ended up finding other people that knew each other. He found individuals that perhaps were, if you looked at their resumes, if you will, maybe weren't perfect for the job, but Jesus did know who he needed to build a very solid core team of individuals that would follow him and be successful in their mission and in his vision. For you as a leader, whether it's leading your family as a leader and building that team that you call a family, whether it's in a nonprofit organization where perhaps you have a bunch of volunteers where you establish a team, or whether it's in your organization where you're building a team there, it is just so critical to have that core group of followers that are within your team. So now it becomes what we call a strategic team. You have this core group of people that's going to support you through good and bad to help you accomplish that vision that you have. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Dan, and I do wish you a very happy and blessed day.